Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bangor High School and the Red Berry Gymnasium. Welcome to the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. Jim Churchill along with Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. Tonight, we've got a matchup in Eastern Maine Class A boys as the Bangor Rams play host to the Lawrence Bulldogs. And Ernie, let's start by talking about this Lawrence team, 8-8 coming in, and coached by Jason Pellerin, his first year at the helm of this boys program after Mike McGee retired after decades of coaching Bulldog basketball, and maybe overachieving a little bit this year.
Yeah, certainly 8-8, not a bad record for this team. Graduated some significant players from last year's team that reached the Eastern Maine Championship game. But Jason Pellerin, a veteran of the Lawrence staff, also a former Lawrence girls varsity basketball coach, has done a good job and has the Bulldogs now battling for one of the final three playoff positions in Eastern Maine Class A. Right now they're sitting in 8th place, have big games this week against Bangor and Messalonskee. If they can win at least one of those games, and perhaps both, most likely they will finish in the 8th position and get a home court advantage for a prelim round game next week.
And then if they win that prelim game, they get the honor of playing the Hamden Academy Broncos, but they'd be in the postseason.
They would be in the postseason, and as we learned last year, in any one game, anything can happen. Lawrence obviously taking Hamden to the wire last year in the Eastern Maine final, and only a 35-foot shot by Nick Gilpin separated Lawrence from winning the Eastern Maine title in a game that they were the heavy underdogs in.
Well, this Bangor Ram team, a few weeks ago, they were 5-4, scuffling a little bit. They had lost to this Lawrence team by a single point on a last-second three by Cole Robinson. They lost big to Hamden, but since then they've reeled off 7 straight wins, and Ed Catala's team playing some of their best basketball right now.
Yeah, it's been almost a month since the Rams have lost. That last loss against Hamden coming on January the 7th, and a big key to that 7-game win streak has been their team defense. They're allowing just 44 points a game during that streak, and when you only allow 44 points, you've only got to come up with a way to score 45 to win, and they've been scoring more than that for sure. Now, with the final week of the regular season upon us, they are in a position to finish in the 2nd or 3rd spot in Eastern Maine Class A, and most of the folks you talk to in the region will say that's very important to avoid the 4-5 or any spot that would put you into an early round playoff game against the Hamden Academy Broncos. A win tonight against a Lawrence team that's got some point-worthy value to it would go a long way toward earning a Bangor a top 3 finish.
All right, should be a good one here tonight. Lawrence looking to stay in the postseason picture. Bangor looking to continue with their win streak here tonight, and the Rams looking for a little revenge against this Bulldog team from the loss earlier in the year. Coming up, we're going to hear from both coaches, Jason Pellerin and Ed Catala. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue,
and already
or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, tippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Well, Coach, your team comes in here to Bangor High School.
Dean's Car Care is now Dean's Detailing. New name, new look, still the best. Since 1971, Dean's has served the greater Bangor area with quality and service. Renew your vehicle's appearance. Protect your auto investment. Call Dean's today, 945-3016, or book your appointment online at deansdetailing.com. Dean's gift cards are always the perfect fit for the holidays or any special occasion. At Dean's, we make used look like new.
Back here at Red Berry Gym at Bangor High School, Jim Churchill along with Ernie Clark from the Bangor Daily News. This is the pregame show prior to this game between the Lawrence Bulldogs and the Bangor Rams. The pregame show presented by Greenway Equipment. Greenway Equipment, for the best in John Deere sales and service, it's Greenway Equipment with 2 locations in Bangor and Ellsworth. Visit us at greenwayequipment.com and like us on Facebook. Greenway Equipment, nothing runs like a deer. Time now for our coaches' interviews. Before the game, we had a chance to talk with Jason Pellerin of the Lawrence Bulldogs. Well, Coach, your team comes in here to Bangor High School, 8-8 on the season, a young team. Is this where you thought you'd be at this point?
from an effort standpoint, it's where I thought we'd be. Whether that was able to get us some wins early on in the season was going to be tough to tell, but been real pleased with how hard the kids have practiced literally since we had tryouts from day one. Couldn't ask for anything more from them in practice nor in games. They've really laid it all out there every single night, and that's all you can ask for.
You're kind of ingrained in Lawrence basketball from the young ones right up to the high school level, and obviously with Mike McGee gone, you learned from a pretty good coach there as well.
You know, I go back to the first day of tryouts. I called up Coach that first night and said, Coach, if I had to get done coaching tonight, it would have been a great day because of how hard these kids practice. It's simply who we are. We literally don't know any other way to get it done. We just go out and man, that first day was so intense, and it was just a really, really fun day, and it's been that way right on through till today.
Obviously a thriller victory over Bangor earlier in the season down in Fairfield. Your thoughts on this Bangor team?
Well, Bangor right now I think is playing some of the best ball in Eastern A, and Eastern A is wide open, and I think Bangor is just really, I think their senior leadership is stepping up, and they're really starting to play. They seem to be understanding what it means to have a good possession, what it means to hit the open man, what it means to be ready to shoot, and they seem to be doing all of those things right now. And I'm looking for Bangor to really make a strong run in the tournament.
All right, Coach. Jason Pellerin, head coach of the Lawrence Bulldogs, joining us prior to tonight's action. Interesting, one of the players warming up behind him during that shot was Xavier Lewis, who was a Lawrence Bulldog last year. After being at Bangor his first 2 years of high school, he was on the floor when Nick Gilpin hit that buzzer beater in the Eastern Maine Championship, and now Xavier back in a Ram uniform here tonight.
Yeah, some interesting relationship there between the Bulldogs and the Rams, and as you mentioned, Lewis, who also was a key to the Lawrence football team as a junior down in Fairfield, back where he grew up in Bangor, and certainly probably Jason Pellerin has a pretty good scouting report on Xavier Lewis.
Well, it's senior night here at Bangor High School. They're honoring the senior cheerleaders and the senior basketball players here prior to the opening tip. And Ed Catala, the head coach for the Bangor Rams, watching the ceremony here tonight proudly. And let's hear from Coach Ed Catala now as we talked to him just moments ago. Well, Coach, the beat goes on. The win streak now up to 7 games after the victory over Mount Ararat last week. And just talk about some of the senior leadership you've had this year.
Well, it's been tremendous, first of all. All 8 have contributed in their own way, whether it's Jake Bowen, who some would argue is our last guy on the end of the bench, his effort in practice and his attitude on the bench, through our scorers, our big 3. And Xavier and Alex and Connor. So we've had tremendous contributions from all of them in their own way. This is a great opportunity for them tonight to hopefully build on the momentum of a good run and finish this home season off the way they would like to.
Obviously a lot of focus on your perimeter game, but Connor Adams really showed in that game Friday night his versatility and his ability at both ends of the floor. He's not your prototypical post-up guy, but he can certainly run the floor on both sides of the basketball.
No, he runs the floor, which creates matchup problems. He's got great hands, and our guys, we're an unselfish team, and they find him, and he can catch those and put those in. But when we played our best, we have him established inside. We're shooting it pretty well from the outside, and then teams sort of have to pick their poison.
All right, Coach, good luck. Ed Catala, head coach of the Bangor Rams. And again, Ernie, his team riding a 7-game win streak coming into this one. They've moved up the ladder in the Eastern Maine Class A boys standings, sitting now in the number 2 spot. And they finish up with Lawrence here tonight, Brewer on Friday. And if you're a head coach and you want your team to be playing some of your best basketball at the right time, it would appear that Ed Catala's got his team heading in that direction.
Yeah, certainly so. You mentioned they haven't lost in nearly a month. They've been consistent on the defensive end and have found different ways to get offense, whether it's through the leadership of their guards, Xavier Lewis and Alex Campbell, both seniors. Their big man running the court, Connor Adams, another senior. He's been getting a lot of easy offense as Bangor has worked some transition. And then the role players of the Rams getting in position, the Andrew Hilliers and the Trey Kennys and Justin Smiths, all doing the little things that need to be done to complement the big 3, so to speak. And they've had some close games along the way. A very good win at Oxford Hills of South Parish for one, perhaps the best win of the bunch, of the 7 that they've gotten during this streak. But some solid wins, and they've taken care of the teams that they should be beating as well. So all in all, a pretty solid effort that has taken Ed Catala from being uncertain of exactly how good this team was going to be back in early January, around the turn of the new year, to the point where he's feeling pretty confident that if they continue their consistent play, and there's no reason to think they won't, they've got a chance to make a pretty significant run in the Eastern Maine tournament.
Well, the two teams back on the floor here at Redberry Gym, continuing with their warm-ups. They left 5 minutes up on the pregame clock while they had the senior night ceremonies here for the senior cheerleaders and the senior Bangor Ram basketball players. So we are winding things down here in the pregame show and looking forward to this one between Bangor and Lawrence. Again, Lawrence nipped Bangor on the last-second three-point basket by Cole Robinson earlier this year down in Fairfield. And an interesting moment during the senior ceremony. Xavier Lewis was the last Bangor player to come out and got the rose from the bench, headed over and gave a hug to his mom and got a picture taken, and then he started heading back to the bench with the rose and got the fans laughing a little bit here at Redberry Gym.
He thought it was for him.
All right, well, we're looking forward to this one. We'll take the final break here in the Greenway Equipment pregame show. When we come back, we'll have the Sergeant Tyler and West starting lineups and the opening tip between the Bulldogs and the Rams. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Choosing the right school for driver's ed has never been more important. Northeast Auto and Cycle School has been the leader in driver training since 1969. Greater Bangor's #1 team of instructors are experienced, professional, and caring. Northeast offers a variety of weekday and weekend courses. The motorcycle permit course at Northeast is taught by passionate riders committed to safety. Call 942-1769 or sign up at northeastautocycle.com.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, tippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Welcome back to Bangor High School. Good look at Redberry Gymnasium as we are closing in on the 2-minute mark here on the pregame clock at Redberry Gym as the Lawrence Bulldogs are in town to take on the Bangor Rams. Bangor won the JV game that was concluded about 20 minutes ago, and the Bangor varsity team looking for the sweep here tonight against Lawrence. Well, it's time now for our Sergeant Tyler and West starting lineups. Sergeant Tyler and West has been providing insurance coverage for individuals and business owners across the state of Maine since 1869. Call 992-5200 or visit stwinsurance.com. For all your insurance needs, it's Sergeant Tyler and West, the coverage you need and the service you deserve. And here with the starting lineups for tonight's contest between Lawrence and Bangor, Ernie Clark of the Bangor Daily News.
Okay, first off, for the Bangor Rams, their recent starting lineup has featured Alex Campbell and Xavier Lewis, a pair of senior guards. And up front, Connor Adams, a senior center, along with Justin Smith, just a sophomore, and Andrew Hillier, a junior, who's coming off a pretty solid performance in the Rams' last outing the other night. For the Lawrence Bulldogs, starting Kyle Robinson, Joe LeClaire, Taylor Slaney, Brad King, and Cole Robinson. Taylor Slaney, perhaps the most notable returnee for the Bulldogs from last year's team that, again, made it to the Eastern Maine Final. Of course, the Bulldogs graduating Spencer Carey, who's now playing football at the University of Maine, as well as having Xavier Lewis transfer back to Bangor.
So for the Rams, it's Lewis, Adams, Hillier, Justin Smith, and Alice Campbell. And for Lawrence, as Ernie said, you got Robinson, LeClaire, Slaney, King, and Cole Robinson, who I mentioned earlier had the big three-point bucket to beat Bangor by 1 point. Ed Patara was kind of replaying that game with us down before the ball game here tonight, and he said they had a free throw situation where they made one of two that made it a 2-point ball game. During the last scuffle for Lawrence, as they were trying to tie the ball game or go ahead with a 3-point shot, he said his players had their hands on the basketball a couple times, just could not corral it, and then he said the ball ended up in the one person's hands you didn't want it to end up in, and that was Cole Robinson.
Yeah, and that, in fairness to the Rams, that Folsom Gymnasium is one of the best home court advantages in Eastern Maine and probably statewide. Very tight quarters there, and a loud crowd and a motivated home team, and very difficult to win.
All right, the Bangor 12-4, again a 7-game win streak, number 2 in the Eastern Maine Wheel Point standings, and Lawrence Bulldogs 8-8, again a very young team for the Bulldogs. Robinson, 5'9" guard, a junior. Slaney is a senior, King is a senior, LeClaire is a senior, and is Kyle Robinson is a sophomore.
Kyle Robinson is a sophomore, Cole's a junior. Yeah, those 3 seniors you mentioned, the only 3 seniors on the Lawrence roster, so as you mentioned, a pretty young team, and perhaps overachieving, as you alluded to at the outset of the broadcast. I don't know if people thought they were going to be in position to contend for a playoff spot, given all the losses that they had graduation-wise and through transferring. But a good job done by Jason Pellerin of maintaining the Bulldog pride that runs rampant in those communities.
Yes, he said he's been very proud of his team's effort, and kind of a good segue. He has kind of grown up with a lot of these kids on this Lawrence team. Nice job by the Bangor band here tonight, playing the national anthem. Bulldogs huddling up between the circles. Coach Jason Pellerin right in the middle of that huddle. And the Bangor Rams break up their huddle in front of their bench off to the right as we look down on the floor here at Redberry Gym.
Officials for tonight's game are Chris Thornton and Fred Berry, who will be throwing the ball up to get this game underway in a matter of seconds.
Sure, I played against Fred Berry back in the day.
That was a muscle tussle, no doubt.
I don't think he liked me. We are underway here at Redberry Gym, and the Bangor Rams win the opening tip. Just kidding. Campbell almost lost control there. Goes to Adams, who had a great game against Mount Ararat the other night. He was our BDN Maine, a player of the game. Now we're going to get a little hand check here as the foul is going to go against Joe LeClaire.
Lawrence to the man-to-man defense to start out. No surprise there. Bangor likely the same. Adams with a size advantage on LeClaire, tried to take advantage of it and drew the first foul of the game.
Ball comes into Smith, goes up with the left hand off the window for 2 points. Well executed by Bangor. Nice use of the offhand there by Justin Smith.
And Good thought there by Lewis, noticing that the Lawrence defender wasn't looking at the ball, so he had a free lane to pass to Smith.
Ball lost out of bounds by Taylor Slaney, 6'3" senior. Lawrence with some token pressure there in backcourt, and an alley-oop here to Adams from Kimball, and it's up and in. Once they got past that front line of the Lawrence press, Rams had numbers, and they cashed in.
Yeah, probably won't see Lawrence with that type of full court pressure much again, because Bangor beat it with ease with the pass.
And we're going to get a foul here on Xavier Lewis, as he got a piece of a Bulldog, and Cole Robinson will put the ball in play from the near sideline.
Robinson, the three-point hero of the last meeting between these two teams, and Xavier Lewis gets the defensive assignment against him this time.
At the right elbow, it's King looking for help, gets it off to Cole Robinson.
Bangor in his zone on the out-of-bounds play. It looks like now they're matching up.
Slaney's shot up, no good. Rising high to rip it down is Connor Adams. Here's Campbell with a push. Alex to the free throw line, a little floater there, no good. And the ball taken out of there by Kyle Robinson. Slaney picked up by Adams. Gets it off to King. Now Robinson resets things out between the circles. Here's Slaney, guarded by Hillier. Hillier had a great offensive game for the Bangor Rams last time out against Mount Ararat. Some long-range bombs for the Rams. Get a traveling violation here on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Lawrence won't mind running some time off the clock, but Bangor so far very alert to the backdoor cuts that the Bulldogs like to take advantage of offensively, and that time the Bangor defender in the passing lane forced the turnover.
Campbell gets it into the front court, hands it off to Hillier. We're under 6 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter. Lewis being harassed by the Bulldog defense, goes on the right side of Campbell. Now it's Adams, the Bulldog defense pushing Bangor away from the basket. Finally an open look here for Smith, can't get it to go. And coming away with the rebound is LeClaire. And a long pass up ahead from Robinson, and that one is a misfire, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Ram basketball. And at the other end of the floor, Connor Adams was down, and he is right now limping off the floor, barely able to make it to the Bangor sideline. You can see the pain and the frustration on the face of Connor Adams. That would be a significant loss, and it looks like he is looking at that right knee.
Yeah, it wasn't an ankle for sure. It looks like a knee, and walked off under his own power, but barely. So we'll see what happens with him as the training staff over there to check out the situation for Bangor's third leading scorer and one of their top rebounders as well.
Yeah, Bangor already with two pretty key players out. Seniors Garrett Johnson and Hunter Boyce. Here's a jumper from the free throw line by Lewis to make it 6-0.
One-on-one move there by Lewis. Crossover dribble and set himself up from the 15-footer.
Slaney a miss, but there for the offensive rebound and 2 points is Brad King.
3 early turnovers for Lawrence. Really the first time they were able to sustain an offense and get a second shot.
Bulldogs on the board. You can see Coach Pellerin in the background up on his feet, coaching hard. Jumper here from Alex Campbell, no good. And a battle for the rebound between Slaney and Smith. And I think we're going to get a foul here on Justin Smith.
Is the pull-up by Xavier Lewis on Bangor's previous possession there. Used a couple of crossover dribbles to get ahead of his defender.
While we have a second, we'll tell you this broadcast this evening brought to you by BDN Maine. BDN Maine is Maine's leader in news and information online, on your tablet or smartphone, and in print. Be sure to check out our 2-minute video recap of tonight's game at BangorDailyNews.com. A miss there from the left baseline by LeClaire. Lawrence gets it back, and LeClaire comes away with the basketball. Shot up and off, no good. Nick Ashe will rip it out of there for Bangor. Xavier Lewis He had a fine outing against Mount Ararat on Friday. Long three here from Alex Campbell. And that's a 7-point lead for the Rams.
Lawrence gets 4 shots at one end, comes up empty. Bangor comes down at the other end. Quick 3-point look by Campbell, and a 5-point swing, if you will.
Bangor in a 1-3-1 out there. Right now, Lewis working the baseline for the Rams. Approaching the 3.5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Great to have you with us here for the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. Getting some room to work in the middle there was King, could not finish. And we're going to have a held basketball and the arrow pointing the Bulldogs' way.
Yeah, good cut to the high post by King and wound up getting a good shot in the middle of that defense. Here's Bangor's last possession. The penetration by Lewis sets up the open 3-pointer by Campbell, who's a pretty effective shooter from long range all season long for the Rams.
Certainly Lewis and Campbell can help each other out with their abilities to penetrate the lane and then offer up that kick out. As you saw Lewis do right there in that last highlight here, Xavier tries to split the defense, has the ball taken away, but a foul against the team in blue.
May have tried a bit much there. He was trying to get through 3 defenders off the dribble, but the foul was committed by, I believe, Brad King, and so Bangor retains possession with some significant substitutions.
Lewis will put it in play, comes into Ashe, lost control momentarily, got it back, and now they're going to call a double dribble on 0-0.
Yeah, couldn't maintain control once the inbounds pass was first in, was traffic in the way, and wound up with a double dribble, first turnover of the game for the Rams.
JT Nutting into the ball game, along with Dustin Simpson-Bragg for Lawrence. Here's a steal by Lewis ahead of the pack. He'll lay it up and in. And a good start here tonight for Bangor. They lead it 11-2.
Yeah, that time Lewis just anticipated the play very well, and once he gets the ball in the open court, he's hard to stop.
Across the way, we can see Connor Adams in the background there, talking with the trainer for the Rams, flexing that right leg, and we do believe it is a knee. He was holding on to his knee when he came to the bench. Lewis, a long three here for Bangor, and the Rams picking up right where they left off on Friday night. A long three by Lewis right after the long three by Alex Campbell, and it's a 14-2 Bangor lead. 2:20 left up on the clock. Our broadcast here tonight brought to you in part by Dean's Detailing. Since 1971, the leader in auto detailing, Dean's Detailing. We make used look like new, and there's that three by Xavier Lewis.
About NBA range there. That was a 3-pointer you usually only see Alex Campbell taking for the Rams, as Alex Campbell fairly frequently goes long range on the 3-pointers, but that time Lewis pulled up after the 5th Lawrence turnover of the first quarter and shot that 23-footer with confidence.
When you talk about backcourts, and I think we've mentioned it in previous Bangor games, tough to beat the combination of Campbell and Lewis, especially the way they're playing the last few weeks. And, of course, Nick Gilpin, Cam Scott, and Hamden very, very good. But when you combine all the basketball skills, these two may be the best right now.
Yeah, certainly they got the most experience as both seniors, and they're also looked upon to carry a much greater share of the scoring load for Bangor than Nick Gilpin and Cam Scott are for Hamden Academy. But both the senior guards for Bangor are able to get their own shots and also able to set up teammates, and that's a valuable combination of skills for any high school basketball team.
Bangor aggressive with their 1-3-1. Ben Hughes into the ball game for the Rams. He's on the back line now, and here's a steal. Hughes got his hand on that basketball. Here's Campbell wide open. He'll lay it up and in with the left hand. Bangor flying around Redberry Gym right now. Here's a three put up by Simpson-Bragg, Dustin Simpson-Bragg. The junior guard nails a three, and that was a big hoop right there for the Bulldogs.
It really was. They had gone 3.5 minutes without scoring while Bangor had run off 10 consecutive points, so that was a badly needed basket.
Trey Kenny into the ball game for the Rams. He nails a three. Trey Kenny, a guy who gets overlooked at times, I think, on this Bangor team, but we've seen him in the last couple of weeks, Ernie, be a key contributor, especially with that long ball.
Yeah, he picks his spots, to be sure.
Here's a 3 ball from Nutting, and that's going to go off the side of the rim and out of bounds, so it's going to be Bangor basketball.
And one thing that happens with Bangor is, they start out and establish the big 3. In this case, the big 2 right now with Adams on the Bangor bench. And there is Trey Kenny. Once Campbell and Lewis establish themselves, the defense has to pay so much attention to them. It leaves people like Trey Kenny, Andrew Hillier on the wings fairly open at times, especially after the dribble penetration. It's up to them to knock down the shots, and Kenny and Hillier in the last couple of games in particular have both been successful doing that.
That 3 rims out by Lewis. Got a save in by Ashley. Lewis gets it back, puts up a shot in the lane. It's good. Rams 21 points already in this ball game.
Boy, just an impressive physical play there by Nick Ashley to get the offensive rebound and basically one time to pass back into the lane to Xavier Lewis, who's got 9 points already.
There's a miss by Lawrence. Ball out of bounds. Going to be Bangor basketball. Connor Adams out of the lineup right now. He's back in the locker room or trainer's room getting checked out. And the Rams have not missed a beat, up by 16. They'll go for the final shot here in the first quarter.
Now, Nick Ashley's come in for Adams. 3 rebounds and 2 assists in a couple of minutes. Just a valuable contribution off the Bangor bench.
Clock down to 8 seconds. Campbell will fire up a 3. That one's off the back of the rim. No good. Ashley offensive board. Lewis will try a 3. That's good. Wow, everything working for the Rams here in this first quarter. They are shooting the ball well. They're winning the rebounding battle and playing outstanding defense as well. And they lead it by 19 after the first 8 minutes. We'll take a break. Be back with the second quarter. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
White Sporting Goods doesn't just help sports teams look their best. We help give businesses a professional edge when promoting themselves. Make your business and staff members stand out with our in-house screen printing and embroidery services. And nothing stands out more than your logo, business name, or slogan on a unique promotional item. White Sporting Goods can help your business stand out and get noticed. I'm Christy with White Sporting Goods. Call me today and I'll help your business look its best.
Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. Hiring a professional videographer with an eye for detail will capture all of the emotion of the day, your special moments and precious memories from start to finish.
Back at Bangor High School, great first quarter for the Rams. They lead Lawrence 24-5. Looking for a little payback here tonight after Lawrence beat Bangor earlier this season. This game live at BangorDailyNews.com. We thank you for joining us. We've had a great response to our first 2 broadcasts. Don't want to put any pressure on you, Ernie, but we've had thousands of people listening and watching mostly.
Now I'm scared.
Told you not to overreact to the vast number of people who are hanging on your every word. There's a 3 by Lawrence.
By number 4, which is Kyle Robinson in, second 3-pointer of the game for the Bulldogs.
They needed that out of the gate here in quarter number 2. This game tonight between Lawrence and Bangor will be replayed on Time Warner Cable Channel 9 across the state of Maine on Thursday night at 9:30. And we'll be back with you at BangorDailyNews.com with the live stream on Friday night in a key Class B matchup up in Old Town as the Herman Hawks travel north to take on the Coyotes. Thanks for joining us here on the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. Got a great crew here tonight. We'll talk about them here shortly. Alex Campbell will try another 3, and that's wide of the mark, and Lawrence will let the basketball go out of bounds. Into the ball game here for the Bulldogs, Mason Cooper. He's just a freshman. Saw a little bit of him in the JV game, and a good-looking first-year player here in high school basketball, and a hand check here by Campbell. Trainer has come out of the Bangor locker room, and Connor Adams back on the bench. Here's the 3 hit there by Kyle Robinson.
Looks like, can't tell if he's got an ice pack on his knee or not.
Yes.
Connor Adams over there, but he's sitting on the bench. No treatment other than that right now.
Shot up and good here from Cooper, the freshman from the right corner. That's a 3. So the points adding up for Lawrence quickly here at the early part of this second quarter.
Lawrence getting into the corners against that 1-3-1 zone defense for 2 3-pointers here in the early going of the period.
There's a deflection by the Bulldogs, can't come up with it. Lewis wins the battle. Campbell will drive, pull up, skip it across to Kenny. Here's his 3, and it's good. Trey Kenny, I don't know what his shooting percentage is from beyond the arc over the past 3 or 4 ball games, but I haven't seen him miss many of those attempts.
He has 2 or 3, and in each game that was a case where Campbell penetrated and drew the defense, and that left Kenny open.
Good hustle there by King after his miss. He kept it alive, got it to his teammate, Joe LeClaire, who laid it up and in.
Yeah, exactly right. Good hustle there. There's King on the baseline with the offensive board. Good cut to the basket by LeClaire, recognizing that his teammate had gained possession, and now he'll get a chance to complete a 3-point play.
LeClaire is 6'3" senior. Lawrence starting to feel a little better about themselves. LeClaire does miss the free throw, and the rebound to Ashe for the Rams. Campbell looking for a little backdoor play there to Hillier. They can't connect. Lawrence takes it away. Up ahead it comes to King on the near sideline. Sees a seam, takes it to the rim, misses. Offensive rebound, but a travel. As after LeClaire came down with that board, he lost his balance. And the traveling violation against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, a timeout by Bangor. Bangor doesn't like the way this game is going right at the moment, even though they're out-armed with a 14-point lead. Lawrence trying to gain a little momentum, and Ed Catala wants to put a stop to it if he can.
The Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week brought to you by Greenway Equipment. For the best in John Deere sales and service, it's Greenway Equipment with 2 locations in Bangor and Ellsworth. Visit us at greenwayequipment.com and like us on Facebook. Greenway Equipment, nothing runs like a deer. So a tremendous start here for Bangor. Again, you talk about their defense in the pregame show, Ernie, giving up just 44 points per game during this 7-game win streak. And we've seen here tonight their defense creating a lot of offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been a key. Although typically Connor Adams has been one of the players to get out on the transition break after the turnovers that Bangor's defense has forced. He's sidelined tonight, but still Bangor generating some easy offense from their defense. And now they've got to deal with the fact that Lawrence is starting to find the range a little bit from 3-point land in the corners, and we'll see how they adapt defensively to that.
Game here tonight also brought to you by Northeast Auto and Cycle School. Since 1969, the leader in driver training. Call 942-1769 or visit them at northeastautocycle.com to sign up for February and March classes. Bangor with the basketball out of the timeout, leading it by 14. A little spurt here in the early part of the second quarter by Lawrence. Ashe's come into the ball game, done a good job on the boards. Pass from Ashe across the lane, picked off. Now Campbell's going to take it back, and he's going to travel as he kind of got hung up there as tried to cross over and go to the left. The defender went with him, and that threw Alex off stride a little bit.
Yeah, quick reaction there. Wound up with a 1-on-2 and tried to make a move and got caught. 2 quick turnovers there by Bangor, and they had 1 possession. But again, that's Alex Campbell. He'll try to take advantage of it when you're relaxed, as Lawrence thought they had possession cleanly, and they did wind up with the ball, but not after a little consternation, to be sure.
There's Lawrence losing the basketball right into the hands of Campbell. Waits for his teammates. Hillier for a 3, and that's good! Andrew Hillier in the game against Mount A missed his first 2 shots by goodly margins, then hit 3 in a row. Here's a steal by Hughes. He lays it up and in, so Bangor coming right back after a little run there by Lawrence.
Yeah, 5 points in quick fashion there. 5 points off the Bangor. Well, Hillier started, but Hughes certainly didn't, and some good work by Lawrence is now a 19-point lead again by Bangor.
Feed down low to Cooper. The freshman couldn't get it to go. Bangor with the rebound. Ashe, top of the circle, looking to hand it off to someone. Finally gets it to Campbell. There's some substitutions at the scorer's table waiting to come in as Campbell misses the shot. Ashe, another offensive rebound and a reach-in foul. Looks like it'll go against Kyle Robinson.
I have Ashe for 7 rebounds since coming into the game for Adams midway through the second quarter. Very active on the boards as he's going to take a seat on the bench to the congratulations of his teammates there after some very solid work. Has yet to score, but he's definitely had an influence on this game.
Yeah, Bangor right now with the injuries to Johnson, Boyce, and now Adams. It's next man up philosophy as you see the 3 there by Hillier. The lefty knocking one down.
But again, Hillier, Kenny, getting to those spots that you're comfortable shooting at. You wait, sooner or later, Campbell or Lewis is going to dribble penetrate, draw that defense to them. You're going to have opportunities to score, and both Kenny and Hillier taking advantage of it here in the first half.
Cole Robinson back into the ball game. He's got a hefty knee brace on his left knee. A miss there by King. Loose basketball. It's going to go off Kenny, I believe, and that's going to give it back to the Bulldogs. They're down by 19. They beat Bangor by 1 earlier this year. And got a foul here against the Rams on the inbounds play. Ed Catala was marveling at the atmosphere down at the Folsom Gymnasium in Fairfield at Lawrence High School.
There's nothing quite like it, and it can be intimidating to opposing players, particularly if it's their first experience in that gymnasium.
Said Mike McGee was there that night, so he left happy.
Yeah, he was known to stir up a crowd or two during his days at Folsom Gym.
Here's a nice little dish, but a miss there. As unable to finish is Seth Powers into the ball game for Coach Pellerin. Liam Harrigan into the ball game for Bangor. He's out there with Xavier Lewis, Trey Kenny, Justin Smith, and Andrew Hillier. Harrigan finds Lewis on the left side. Xavier will put up a jumper from about 12 feet and come up short there, but a foul against Lawrence is going to put Lewis at the line for a couple.
Bangor's offense without Adams in the lineup, a little more outside in. They don't have that low post presence offensively to kick the ball into and then work it back outside. So now it's more on Lewis in particular now with Campbell out of the game, and Campbell when he's in there to use the dribble penetration to set up teammates.
The Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week brought to you in part by Sergeant Tyler and West. Sergeant Tyler and West, the coverage you need and the service you deserve. 2 free throws by Xavier Lewis gives Bangor their biggest lead of the ball game at 21.
14 now for Lewis here in the first quarter plus.
One thing I've noticed about Bangor, especially in recent games, you don't see many forced shots. They're sharing the basketball well, spacing the floor well. A miss there by Cole Robinson. Offensive rebound to Slaney. Turns around and gets the roll. Bulldogs back on the board. They're down by 19 now.
Yeah, Bangor now in the 2-3 zone, and one of the pitfalls of a zone is the rebounding.
Backdoor play there to Hillier, who couldn't get it to go, but a foul against Lawrence. Fred Berry, the official with the call along the baseline.
There's some good work on the inside. Back to the basket, using his body to good advantage. And that was Taylor Slaney knocking down the shot. Now Bangor's getting hurt a little bit on the offensive rebounds by playing the zone defense, but they're willing to trade off a few rebounds for a denial of the 3-point shots that Lawrence was hitting earlier in the period.
Offensive rebound by Trey Kenny, rolls off the heel of the rim and goes out of bounds. Going to be Bangor basketball though. And Jason Pellerin, head coach for the Bulldogs, not a happy camper here with 1:59 up on the clock. 35-15, Bangor up by 20. The Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. Again, Friday night will be in Old Town for Herman at Old Town. Those two teams are right in the middle of the pack. A win there by either side might get them out of those play-in games, Ernie.
Might get them out of the play-in games, but more likely would assure the winner a home court advantage for a play-in game. It's sort of out of the realm of possibility that those two teams might lock up again next week in a prelim game. They're hovering in that 7 to 10 area of Eastern Maine Class B. They have been hovering in that area for a few weeks now, and so it's an important game to both teams, particularly with the possibility of getting that home court advantage for the prelim. I believe the top, excuse me, 4. No, it's the top. Only the top 3 in Eastern Maine Class B that get buys. 13 teams make it, so 13 will play 4.
Well, if that's the case.
It's for home court advantage, basically. The loser of that game may have difficulty getting a home game.
Bangor out of the timeouts. They execute the out-of-bounds play. 2 more points for Xavier Lewis. He uses the left hand. Connor Adams once again leaving the Bangor bench. The big senior center injured his knee in the first quarter, and he has not been back in the ball game. Could be another tough injury for this Bangor team as they're playing in game number 17 of the regular season here tonight, riding a 7-game win streak, up by 22. At the line here for Lawrence is Brandon Haley.
Perhaps the good news for the Rams is the score the way it is right now. Certainly no need to consider bringing Adams back tonight if he's eventually healthy enough to do it. And just a season finale on Friday against Bloor, and then a decent layoff of a week before they would be playing their first tournament game.
Just gotta hope we're not talking about a torn meniscus or even worse, an ACL, MCL.
Yeah, you just don't know at this point.
Bangor turnover, so Lawrence with it, down by 20. Haley in the far corner gets it off to Cole Robinson. Bangor playing some outstanding defense here in the first half. Haley able to break through though. Goes off glass for 2. Quickly up ahead, Bangor goes to Lewis. I love how Bangor spaces the floor. You never see too many Rams in one spot. And they're going to get a 5-second violation.
Lewis thought he had beaten his defender and wondered about the call, but Brandon Howley there, good, strong drive to the basket. Again, off the Lawrence bench with 4 quick points for Jason Pellerin's club.
Howley with 2 at the free throw line, and that layup there. Bulldogs down by 18. Here's Robinson splitting through the defense. He's going to travel with the basketball.
Turnover number 11 in the first half for the Bulldogs. Bangor with 8 after committing just 1 in the first quarter while building a 24-5 lead.
Coming up at the half, we'll have the first half numbers with our Inside the Numbers segment. And we've got some first half highlights as well from Redberry Gymnasium. A lot of highlights. It's going to be tough to choose from all the highlights for the Bangor Rams here in half number 1.
We'll watch out for a 5-second call here. Now, defender backed off beyond the 6 feet, so the referee stopped the count.
No, I think it was only 5 feet 10 inches.
Okay.
And here's almost a steal by Lawrence. The ball ends up in the hands of Lewis, and he hits the 3. And Xavier Lewis flying off the court after an outstanding first half for the senior and former Lawrence Bulldog.
Well, that was perhaps a fitting end of the half as Lawrence saved the ball in, but right to Lewis, who knocked down 35-footer there at the buzzer. A fitting half for Lewis. Lewis ends the first half with 18 points on 6 of 7 shooting from the field. Missed just 1 3-point attempt in the first half. It doesn't get much better than that for Xavier Lewis against his old team.
Yeah,
Lawrence Bulldogs.
Bangor running on all cylinders here tonight. 40 points in the first 16 minutes of this ball game. They've only given up 19 to Lawrence. And the Rams going for win number 8 in a row here tonight on their home floor. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have the halftime reports. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Dean's Car Care is now Dean's Detailing. New name, new look, still the best. Since 1971, Dean's has served the greater Bangor area with quality and service. Renew your vehicle's appearance. Protect your auto investment. Call Dean's today, 945-3016, or book your appointment online at deansdetailing.com. Dean's gift cards are always the perfect fit for the holidays or any special occasion. At Dean's, we make used look like new.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, tippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Back at Bangor High School, time now for the halftime report. Jim Churchill along with Ernie Clark. Also want to mention our entire crew here tonight. Kim Mitchell producing this one. This game tonight directed by Sam Hallett. Andy Soul on the replays. And our camera crew here tonight, Hunter Tracy on camera 1, Jay Baines on camera 2, and Alicia Coffin on camera 3. Ernie Clark on the stats. We're going to hear from Ernie later on in the halftime show as we go inside the numbers, but right now we want to take a look at some of the first half highlights. Our first half highlights presented by Digital Workshop. Digital Workshop, simply the best. And for Bangor, again, they got off to a quick start here tonight. This is a very strong perimeter Bangor team, and you see right there Alex Campbell, the senior, hitting a 3. He had a good first half, scoring and distributing the basketball. Lawrence with it here. And you can see the Bulldogs trying to stay within striking distance here. He misfired on a highlight there. We'll get some more of the first half action here in just a second. Good look at the crowd here tonight. Again, senior night at Redberry Gymnasium. 8 seniors honored by the Bangor Rams from the basketball team. I believe there were 5 cheerleaders honored as well. And the big guy in the first half here in this one for Bangor, Xavier Lewis, Ernie.
Yeah, Lewis, 19 points as it turns out. I marked down a 2 and actually was a 3. He had 3 3-pointers and really got whatever he wanted. There's a 3-pointer early in the second quarter by Kyle Robinson of Lawrence. They hit 2 threes early in the second quarter, cut the deficit from 24-5 to 24-11. But that's as close as Lawrence got. And here's the end of the first half. Ball saved in. A good hustle play by Lawrence, but right to Xavier Lewis. Turn around, could see the clock right in the background, and launched from long range, and befitting his first half, perhaps knocked down the final dagger there, the 3-pointer to extend Bangor's lead to 21.
And again, an injury in the first quarter suffered by Connor Adams. He left the Bangor bench in the first quarter, came back out for part of the second quarter, but by the end of the first half, Connor Adams was not on the Bangor bench. Maybe he's gone to the hospital to get checked out. We do not know, but certainly a significant loss for Bangor. But in this first half, and we'll dig into the numbers here a little deeper in the next segment of the halftime report, but other guys stepping up, guys like Nick Ashe.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick Ashe, unofficially 7 rebounds and a couple of assists, while filling the role held for the most part by Connor Adams. Came in very active on particularly the offensive boards. Also got some key defensive rebounds as well. And in talking with Ed Cataller after the win over Mount Ararat on Tuesday, he talked about, or at least in the last game, he talked about the bench and how it's had to come through with the injuries, first to Garrett Johnson and Hunter Boyce, and tonight to Connor Adams. And when there's been a need for a contribution off the bench, somebody has been delivering for Bangor each and every night. Tonight so far, Nick Ashe doing the job and helping Bangor out to this lead, and also providing a physical presence on the interior that really the Rams lack somewhat without Adams in there.
All right, let's take another break here in the halftime reports. When we come back, we will have our first half stats. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Choosing the right school for driver's ed has never been more important. Northeast Auto and Cycle School has been the leader in driver training since 1969. Greater Bangor's #1 team of instructors are experienced, professional, and caring. Northeast offers a variety of weekday and weekend courses. The motorcycle permit course at Northeast is taught by passionate riders committed to safety. Call 942-1769 or sign up at northeastautocycle.com.
Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. Hiring a professional videographer with an eye for detail will capture all of the emotion of the day, your special moments, and precious memories from start to finish.
White Sporting Goods doesn't just help sports teams look their best. We help give businesses a professional edge when promoting themselves. Make your business and staff members stand out with our in-house screen printing and embroidery services. And nothing stands out more than your logo, business name, or slogan on a unique promotional item. White Sporting Goods can help your business stand out and get noticed. I'm Christy with White Sporting Goods. Call me today and I'll help your business look its best.
We are back as we are at the half. Big first half for Bangor. They lead at 40-19. Ernie Clark goes inside the numbers.
First for the Lawrence Bulldogs. Leading the way off the bench late in the second quarter with a pair of free throws in the basket is Brandon Halley with 4 points. 3 apiece for Dustin Simpson-Bragg and Kyle Robinson. Also with 3 points, Mason Cooper, and then 2 points apiece for Joe LeClaire, Taylor Slaney, and Brad King for a total of 19. The Bangor Rams led by Xavier Lewis, 7 of 8 from the field officially, 2 for 2 from the line, 3 of 4 from three-point land, including that long shot at the second quarter buzzer. 19 points for the senior guard and former Lawrence Bulldog. Trey Kenny with a pair of three-pointers for 6. Alex Campbell with a 3 and a 2 for 5. Andrew Hillier with 4 points, and 2 apiece for Connor Adams, Justin Smith, and Ben Hughes for a total of 40 points. Bangor shooting 60% from the field, 15 of 25 and 7 of 11 from beyond the three-point arc. The Lawrence Bulldogs, meanwhile, 7 of 21 overall from the field, just 33%. Bangor with a 12-8 advantage in rebounding. Nick Ashe leading the way for the Rams with 7 boards.
All right, very good job, Ernie. Again, your outstanding math skills on display here for the fans watching tonight's game.
Well, it's good practice from doing my taxes, I suppose. Not that the numbers ever get very high.
Right around the corner. So Lawrence and Bangor here tonight. Again, Friday will be in Old Town for the Herman Hawks and Old Town Coyotes boys Class B matchup. Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. Again, we feature live streaming at BangorDailyNews.com. Had tremendous success through the first 2 games. The games are replayed across the state, from Fort Kent to Kittery to Farmington to Calais on Time Warner Cable Channel 9. Here's a 3 put up and hit. Out of the locker room, Kyle Robinson, his second 3 of the ball game.
Set play there out of the halftime break as Lawrence extended the Bangor zone.
Hillier tries to retaliate for Bangor. His 3 rims out, no good. Here come the Bulldogs. Cole Robinson looking to go backdoor to King. Eventually King comes up with a scoop shot, no good. Smith with a rebound, outlets to Hillier. And here comes Lewis for the Rams. Good opportunity there for Lawrence to cut into the big deficit. Campbell will try to extend the lead, can't do it. And the rebound taken by LeClaire. And a kick there by Campbell.
Good anticipation by Campbell there, knowing the pass was going to go cross court from Cole Robinson to Kyle Robinson. And there's Kyle Robinson on the first possession of the third quarter, knocking down the three after taking a pass from the left wing by Cole Robinson.
Lawrence will put it in play from the near sideline. Great view there of J.T. Nutting as he gets the ball back from Kyle Robinson, who's hit the 2 threes. Robinson, right wing, looks inside to King. His shot is rejected by Smith, but Smith got him with the body, and that's going to put King at the line for 2 free throws. We mentioned the live aspect of the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week, streaming live at BangorDailyNews.com. Again, the replay on Time Warner Cable across the state, and very soon we'll have the archive element as SportsNetMaine.com will be up and running, where we will give you the schedule and we will archive all the games so you can watch them over and over again whenever you want to. You should get a good look there at Connor Adams on the Bangor bench, still with that ice pack on his right knee. So Adams still in the gym. A couple free throws made there, so the deficit down to 16.
5 straight to open the third quarter by the Bulldogs, trying to put themselves in position to hang around.
Campbell misses a 3, battle for the rebound, and I'm going to say Kyle Robinson knocked that one out of bounds.
He was
Not a lot of
battling.
room there on the baseline.
Did battling with Andrew Hillier there. Couldn't tell who got the last tap.
There was a referee, about 3 or 4 cheerleaders in the vicinity. Bangor gives it back. Here come the Bulldogs. King trying to move along that left baseline. Nothing there. Gets it back to LeClaire. His jumper misses, and then Lewis will step on the end line, and Lawrence is going to get another shot here, or another shot to get a shot, I should say.
Chances. Again, it's 5-0 here in this third quarter, and that's the approach that Lawrence has got to take to try to win this period and see where it sets them up for the fourth quarter. And so far, they're ahead 5-0.
Here's a jumper around the iron, no good. Rebound by Ashe. He's got a bundle in this one off the Bangor bench. In for Adams. Here comes Lewis, goes behind the back, slings a bounce pass to Hillier, who can't hit the 3, right into the hands of LeClaire. Outlets to Nutting. Nutting with a bounce pass up ahead to Kyle Robinson. He drives, a sophomore, dishes down low to LeClaire. Stepping in the passing lane, though, is Lewis. Here comes the X-Man, and he's going to lay it up. It's going to be off. No good, but a foul against LeClaire.
Yeah, Lewis not settling for a jumper there after Bangor had taken jumpers in the last couple of possessions. Lewis determined to go all the way to the rim after the steal at the other end.
Lewis at the line. We'll give you the Bangor lineup right now. Xavier Lewis, joined by Justin Smith, Nick Ashe, Andrew Hillier, and Alex Campbell. And for Lawrence, on the floor, Kyle Robinson, J.T. Nutting, Taylor Slaney, Joe LeClaire, and Brad King. Our lineups brought to you by Sargent, Tyler, and West. The coverage you need and the service you deserve, Sargent, Tyler, and West. 5.5 minutes left here in the third. All kinds of time for the Bulldogs, but they are down by 18. Turnaround jumper from the left elbow, no good by King. Long rebound, tracked down by Kyle Robinson. Goes to the lane, shot up. A block, but a foul against Hillier.
Lawrence having a little bit of success getting inside the Bangor zone here. Not necessarily making a lot of shots, but getting to the foul line. King had a 15-footer open shot from the line in the offense just a moment ago. Couldn't get it to fall. Really need those shots to fall if Lawrence wants to make a serious comeback effort. But some good hustle by Kyle Robinson gave the Bulldogs a second chance, and now he's at the line trying to capitalize.
Robinson gets the first. We'll get to the substitutions here momentarily, but first we'll tell you this game brought to you by the Bangor Daily News. BDN Maine presents innovative journalism, entertaining and informative events and seminars, opinion that goes beyond the obvious, and comprehensive sports coverage every day at BangorDailyNews.com.
Nick Ashe just left the court quickly with a bloody nose, and he's being checked out over on the sideline behind the Bangor bench. So another injury for the Rams, and now a timeout on the court. Don't know if there's some blood to be cleaned up. That may be the case here. I see Steve Van Anderstein organizing things down there by the Bangor bench. And you see Nick Ashe there just a moment ago with some cotton trying to stop the bleeding here, and that's exactly what it is. Got cleanup work going down in the painted area just outside the lane.
That's right. See the special chemical they use and wiping the blood off the floor. Meanwhile, over behind the Bangor bench, Nick Ashe tries to stop the flow, so to speak, there. And
Rams running out of big people here tonight. There's
dropping like flies.
Adams on the bench with ice on his right knee, and Nick Ashe has done a solid job. By my count, 8 rebounds here coming off the bench, and now he's trying to cure a nosebleed as we come back to action.
I'm not sure of the name of the trainer here at Bangor High School tonight, but she is a busy lady, attending to all the Bangor injuries. No injury there for Alex Campbell. Top of the circle, he drains another 3, and Bangor's lead is back to 20.
Lawrence did a good job the first couple minutes of the period, but now it's a 20-point lead again.
Oh, nice little spinning shot there by J.T. Nutting using the left hand. Went off the window for 2. That looked like the young Ernie Clark there.
I'll tell you, J.T. Nutting's dad was a pretty good basketball player back in the day. His name is Mike Nutting. They used to call him Nuttin' but Net. Played on the 1986 Lawrence team that lost to Waterville by 56 points at the end of the regular season. Came back to beat Waterville in the Eastern Maine Final. And there's Campbell off a high screen there, making a 3-pointer looking like a layup.
Yeah, good job there by Trey Kenny to provide some interference and give Campbell some space to knock down that 3. Foul here. Got to be against Xavier Lewis. He had an exasperated look on his face after the whistle blew. It's his second.
Yeah, reach in. Third team foul and a half. Bangor 1 for Lawrence so far as Nick Ashe returns to the bench with a different uniform, I believe.
He's wearing number 52, I think now. Of course, normally wears 00. Here's Campbell firing up another 3. That one is short. Tipped out by Smith, and I think they're going to get Justin for climbing the back there, the Lawrence Bulldog.
It's going to be number 3, I believe, on Justin Smith in the rebounding action there. Some blood on that 00 jersey means that Ashe has to change, and he's ready to come in right now.
So Ashe in. Justin Smith to the Bangor bench. So it's Hughes, Ben Hughes on the floor for Coach Ed Catala, along with the dynamic duo in the backcourt. Xavier Lewis, Alex Campbell, Trey Kenny out there, along with Ashe. Ashe looks like a rebounder.
Yeah, it does. Defensive end, tight end on the football team, as the officials kind of check with the scorers table to make sure everybody's aware of the uniform number change, and I think we're ready to go. Fred Berry telling Jason Pellerin over on the Lawrence sideline what the situation is. And
it's going to be Lawrence basketball. Both Coach Pellerin and the official Fred Berry, smiles on their faces. Lawrence breaks the press. Jumper inside the arc, no good. And rising high to get the rebound is Ben Hughes. He'll bring it into the front court himself. Goes to the left, and Campbell. Campbell hounded by Nutting. Dishes along the baseline to Hughes, and they cannot connect. Turnover Rams, and a timeout called by Bangor. Well, 2 very different styles here of coaching with Ed Catala. Great posture by Coach Catala. Always dressed very sharply.
Very regal looking on the sidelines.
Has his notes that he looks down at frequently along the sideline. Jason Pellerin again, very much involved in Lawrence basketball from the youth level. He's coached at the middle school. He's coached girls basketball at Lawrence, and now, after the retirement of Mike McGee, steps right into the head coaching job as we get a look here at that spinning shot there by J.T. Nutting going high off the window for 2 points.
J.T. Nutting, his dad, again, that team lost to Waterville by 56 in the final game of the regular season, beat Waterville in overtime in the Eastern Maine final. What a turnaround. Mike Nutting, a key guard on that team. Troy the Goose Scott was a freshman that year that kind of became legendary down in the Fairfield area for leading that team to an Eastern Maine championship.
Lawrence trying to execute a little pick and roll there, loose ball, and a timeout called by Lawrence as Seth Powers got his hands on the basketball there, and the quick timeout called by Coach Jason Pellerin. Again, his team 8-8.
They have another point-worthy game, I believe, on Thursday. They wind up their regular season with Messalonski. That is a home game for them on Thursday night, and they're sitting in 8th place. A win in either of these games would probably secure them the 8th spot. Messalonski also having a strong season, entering tonight's play ranked 5th in Eastern Maine Class A, 12-5 on the season, including a 2-point win over Bangor down in Oakland earlier in the season.
Lawrence gets it in play. Here is King, picking up his dribble, cutting down the lane is Kyle Robinson. A little scoop shot up off, no good. And the rebound to Trey Kenning, and Nick Ashe back on the floor, but in a different uniform. And at this end, Ben Hughes thinking slam dunk. Lost control of the basketball, and I don't think Ed Catala was all that happy with that particular attempt there. Didn't really come all that close. Good hustle by Hughes to fill the lane. Here's a dish from Lewis back to his buddy Alex Campbell. He puts it home. And the lead is back to 20 and a Lawrence turnover.
Lewis looked to dish, then to shoot, then made the dish finally to, there it is, the fake shot, and then the pass to Campbell, who let the defense go by for the layup. Pretty athletic move there on the part of Xavier Lewis.
And again, kudos to our camera crew and Andy Soul on the replays. Sam Hallett directing, Kim Mitchell producing this Sportsnet Maine game of the week, and the great night continues for Xavier Lewis. He hits another 3. His shooting percentage here tonight, Ernie, is unbelievable.
I've got him missing 1 shot from the field so far in the game, 8 for 9, including 4 3-pointers now.
And a traveling violation here against Cole Robinson. We haven't mentioned his name much here tonight, other than to tell you that he hit the 3 to lead Lawrence to the win over Bangor. Last second 3.
Lewis faked driving toward the top of the key, stepped back for the 3-pointer from the left wing.
And again, we see it over and over, whether it's Isaiah Best in Hamden or Zach Gilpin in Hamden, Campbell Lewis for Bangor. They have that ability to pull up for the jumper. They can hit from long range. They can also have that ability to drive with the left hand or the right hand, and that just keeps the defense kind of back on their heels, and they end up giving some space for those open shots.
Yeah, you don't know what shot to expect because you know he's capable of making so many different types.
Entry pass deflected. The takeaway by Bangor. Lewis slips down and able to get it to Campbell, who puts it in. And fortunately for Bangor, Xavier Lewis quickly back to his feet.
It may have been his most impressive play of the night, as he was able to get off the pass to Campbell while sliding to the ground.
1.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Good dish there across the lane from King to Powers, and Powers lays it in. 23-point lead for Bangor. What was the score at the end of the first quarter?
24-5.
Big first quarter, and they have basically held on to that big lead. There was a little spurt at the beginning of the second quarter by Lawrence, but other than that, it's been pretty much all Rams in this one as they are seeking their 8th straight win.
Yeah, Lawrence got within 13 early in the second quarter, got to within 16 here early in the third when they scored the first 5 points of the second half, but since then it's been all Bangor again.
Blocked there by Ashe and tried for another block, but I think this time he's going to get called for the foul. Heel point standings coming into this one tonight in Eastern Maine Class A boys. Of course, Hamden on top, 16-0. As we get a good look here at Lewis sliding down, but the presence of mind and a good job there by Campbell to fill that right lane. And Lewis, while he was going down, dishing it back to his teammate, who picked up 2 points. Hamden 164 tournament index points. Missed there by Halley, and the rebound to Bangor. Bangor second at 12-4, roughly 83 tournament index points.
Hamden with double the tournament points of second place Bangor.
They've had 2 relatively close contests all year. They beat Brunswick earlier in the year in overtime down in Brunswick, and then Oxford Hills gave them a pretty good battle, I think it was last Saturday.
Yeah, that was a 3 to 5 point game in the late stages. It's hard for any high school team to play a Super Bowl every night, and Hamden's getting every team's best effort, and for the most part they've been able to dominate. But you mentioned a couple of occasions, the early game against Brunswick, and then last Saturday against a pretty young and up-and-coming Oxford Hills team.
So a nice take there by Liam Harrigan to get 2. He missed the and 1. So it's 54-30. Bangor on top. Brunswick is third currently in the heel point standings, 11-5. They are tied with Bangor actually in the tournament index. Oxford Hills fourth, 10-6. Right there with 80 points. Mesalonsky close behind with 79.
It's pretty tight there between 2 and 6, I believe.
Campbell gets the roll. Beat goes on here for the Rams, averaging about 20 points per quarter here tonight. One of their best offensive outputs of the year so far anyway. A miss by Lawrence and another rebound for Nick Ashe. It doesn't matter what number he's wearing, he's still cleaning the glass. And a miss here by Campbell.
Yeah, he's had a couple of rebounds as number 52 now. It gets him to 10 for the game, and there's Alex Campbell laying up the left-handed scoop. Pretty impressive move.
Long miss by Lawrence. The buzzer sounds. That'll do it for third quarter action. Strong night for Bangor. They lead it by 26. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, tippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
See the score here tonight at Red Berry Gym through 3 quarters. Rams up big, 56-30. Bangor led it by 19 at the end of the first quarter. Lawrence needing every win they can get. They're in a battle for these 8 and 9 spots. Lewiston is lurking in number 10. Red Berry puts the basketball down. Bangor wasn't quite ready, and the official was tired of waiting. Here's Ashe, and he's going to travel with the basketball before he was able to deliver the pass. Mentioned Lewiston, they're playing at Mount Ararat tonight, so a point-worthy game there. And they'll finish up at Edward Little. So Lewiston on the road, although just across the river to take on the Red Eddies down in Auburn. But certainly 2 big point-worthy games there. Nice turnaround jumper there by Seth Powers. Quick move by number 15.
Yeah, that was a solid low-post move there by Powers. A 6'3" sophomore for the Bulldogs.
Lob pass inside for Ashe. Lost control momentarily. Got it out to Hughes. Here's Campbell getting around Nutting, and Nutting's going to reach out and grab Alex as he was making his way to the rim.
Yeah, once Nutting realized that Campbell was by him, he figured nothing but bad was going to happen if you were a Lawrence player, so he gave up the foul, just his first and just the third on Lawrence here in the second half.
Campbell loses control of the dribble. Walker Thomas into the ball game for Lawrence. Helping in that turnover by Campbell. Here's Kyle Robinson driving the lane. Shot up, off. Robinson keeps it alive. Takes it out of the hands of Kenny. Here's a shot up by Thomas. It's good. A 3-ball from Walker Thomas just into the ball game. He's a 5'9" sophomore.
His first points of the game, and Lawrence, like it's done for the last 2 quarters, striking early in a period here with 5 in a row.
Kenny, another 3. That one's in and out, no good. Powers with the rebound. 5 sophomores and 1 freshman on this Lawrence team. Nutting gets it into the front court. Swings it off to the right to Thomas, who just hit that 3. He's feeling it. He's got 2 more.
7 in a row, and a timeout called. Well, no, not a timeout.
Ball got away along the end line.
Here's Walker Thomas just made the 3-pointer. That time, faked going outside, went to the baseline, and came up with a 12-footer.
Some pressure now being applied by the Bulldogs. Bangor breaks it. Here's Hughes, fakes the pass, goes up with the shot. It's off, no good. And Lawrence with the board. Hughes a little frustrated there. Nice looking play, just couldn't finish. Here's another 3 attempt by Thomas. Walker Thomas.
Walker Thomas saying, what's the record in this gym anyways?
Coach Pellerin.
8 points. 8 quick points by Walker Thomas.
2 threes and a 2, and he was pumped up after this one. Nutting feeding him. And Thomas launches
on range. He knew it was in by the time he let it go.
So it's now a 16-point game. We do have almost 6 minutes left to go in this ball game. Timeout on the floor. While we have a moment, we'll tell you this broadcast of the Sportsnet Main Game of the Week brought to you by Sergeant Tyler & West. Sergeant Tyler & West has been providing insurance coverage for individuals and business owners across the state of Maine since 1869. Call 992-5200 or visit stwinsurance.com. For all your insurance needs, it's Sergeant Tyler & West, the coverage you need and the service you deserve. Saw Dennis Libby in the fandom here tonight. Sergeant Tyler & West. Quick note here on the Sportsnet Main broadcast schedule for the upcoming week. This game between Lawrence and Bangor will be replayed on Time Warner Cable Channel 9 on Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. On Friday night, we travel to Old Town as the Coyotes take on the Herman Hawks in a key boys Class B matchup. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Join us live at BangorDailyNews.com. Next week, we're looking at some play-in action. All games are archived at SportsNetMaine.com. Got a foul here against Lawrence.
Here we go, the quick play and lob to Xavier Lewis over the smaller defender and inside for the basket and a chance for a 3-point play. And if you're Bangor and you want to stem any Lawrence momentum tonight, the place to go has been to number 40, who finishes off the 3-point play.
And Lewis with the steal. He's doing it all over the court here tonight. Hughes in the air, goes in the far corner to Lewis, and he hits again.
Fifth 3-pointer.
He's had some great games, both as a Ram and a Bulldog. This has got to be one of his best here tonight. And Bangor flying all over the court. A fast break, a lay-in by Campbell, and a chance for one more.
Boy, there's a chance for a third consecutive 3-point play in a matter of seconds. Lewis with the steal off to Ben Hughes. The feed across the lane to the filling Campbell, lays it in, and the foul. And one opportunity for Campbell now. And that is 9 points in about 22 seconds.
And a 25-point lead for Bangor. So again, Lawrence got it down to 16. Timeout was called, and ever since then, Bangor a 9-0 run. Slaney coming back in for Lawrence. Also into the ballgame, Dustin Simpson-Bragg. for Coach Pellerin.
I'd be curious as to what Ed Catala told his troops during that last halftime, because I would remember that if I was him.
Here's a layup by Kenny, missed. Offensive rebound, Ashe, and he's up and in with that one. So Ashe, who's done most of his damage in the rebounding department here tonight, picks up 2 points there on the miss by Trey Kenny.
Yeah, his first points of the game, but certainly his value tonight, not measured in offense, but his work on the backboards.
3 ball is short from Simpson Bragg. Lawrence keeps it though, and a shot up here by Nutting, and a foul against Lewis, and that's going to result in 3 shots for J.T. Nutting. What was his father again? Nutting but net?
Yeah, Mike Nutting was his name, but
Nutting but net.
He was known as Nuttin' but Net.
Nuttin' but net.
Just a sweet jump shot he had. There's some work on the boards. This time Nick Ashe going up strong. Back up for his first basket of the game, and rebounds into the double figures now for the Bangor senior.
Nutting misses the first free throw. Second one up by the lefty is good. Senior night here at Redberry Gym. The seniors honored. Nick Ashe, as you mentioned, Alex Campbell, Jake Bowen, Garrett Johnson, Hunter Boyce, Nate Caruso, Xavier Lewis, and Connor Adams. Congratulations to all of those Rams seniors. Nutting's third free throw is good, so he goes 2 for 3 at the line. 67-42, Bangor with the big lead. Cruising on their home floor here tonight, and we talked about payback in the pregame show. The Rams have been on fire right out of the locker room. Ashe, 2 more. Good feed from Campbell.
Yeah, absolutely. Xavier Lewis sitting down now unofficially with 32 points on the night, 5 steals.
He missed 1 shot?
Missed 2 shots.
That's his problem.
1 in each half.
Nutting to the lane. Flings one up there, no good, but he's going to end up at the line once again. .409 on the clock. Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week brought to you by Greenway Equipment. For the best in John Deere sales and service, it's Greenway Equipment with 2 locations in Bangor and Ellsworth. Visit us at greenwayequipment.com and like us on Facebook. Greenway Equipment, nothing runs like a deer.
Alex Campbell takes a seat for the Rams now. Jake Bowen into the game.
Campbell getting a nice round of applause, as did Lewis when he left. So it's Bowen, Hughes, Ashe, Kenny, and Caruso. Nate Caruso goes behind the back. Deals it to Ashe. Now Hughes working the left side, puts up a floater, no good, but a foul against the Bulldogs as Joe LeClaire got Hughes with the body.
Campbell finishing the night with 15 points for Bangor, several assists as well.
32nd timeout as we get a good look at the no-look pass. Campbell becoming very famous in our highlights for that no-look, and Ashe the beneficiary on that delivery.
Yeah, it's incumbent on the receiver to make sure that they maintain eye contact with the passer, even though he's looking away, and Ashe a good job of that. Deep in the post, left him with a layup after the feed from Alex Campbell.
Of course, we're not far away from the 2014 tournament. Gets underway on Valentine's Day at the Cross Center in Bangor. Class B quarterfinals. There will be 3 of them. 2 boys and 1 girls quarterfinal on Valentine's Day. Things get underway at 5 o'clock.
First tournament game at the Cross Center will feature the numbers 3 and 6 teams in Eastern Maine Class B. Both of those spots yet to be determined, with a lot of movement possible in the last 4 days of the regular season.
Carl Gershik into the ball game for Bangor, wearing his grandfather's number 24, grandson of Former Black Bear Keith Mahaney was sitting off to our right. Inside it goes to King. His shot up off the window, no good. LeClaire with the offensive board. Kenny in the midst there, and he ripped it out of there, but traveled in the process. There will be no buzzer beater here tonight.
Well, there was one
for King.
Well, there was one at the end of the first half.
Indeed. After the ball was saved in by Lawrence near midcourt, Lewis picked it up, turned around, and fired up about a 30-foot jumper. Nothing but net to end the first half. And at that point, Jason Pellerin, the head coach for Lawrence, has to be thinking, this might not be our night.
No.
We're not going to pack it in, but it might not be our night.
Perhaps we've already gotten our win we're going to get over Bangor here in the regular season.
Gershik goes behind his back, and he's going to be hand checked there.
We're going to be shooting 1-and-1 for the duration, well, until the double foul situation. Each team with 7 right now as LeClaire picks up his 4th, 8th team foul now on Lawrence as Gershik heads to the line for 1-and-1.
Shot is up and off, no good, and the rebound to Lawrence into the ball game for the Bulldogs. Number 20, it's Derek Raven, a 6'2 junior. Got the feed at the offensive end, and Raven is going to be at the line for 2 free throws. So 8 straight wins, unless there's a miracle here tonight for Ed Katawa's crew. They'll finish up with Brewer at the Cross Center on Friday. Even though they're going to be playing at the Civic Center, Ernie, the whole look and the depth perception shooting at the Cross Center might be a nice segue into their postseason down at the Augusta Civic Center.
Yeah, certainly so. The backdrop in the Cross Center much darker than it is at the Augusta Civic Center. Really, the lights at the Cross Center focus directly on the court, which players like. They get used to it and they like it, generally speaking, from those I've talked with. But it's a different look from what the Rams will see once they get to the Civic Center down in Augusta.
Under 3 minutes left in this one. Bangor in control. They have the basketball. Bowen's shot for the Rams rolls off. Rebound to LeClaire. Outlets to Nutting. Nutting goes in the far corner to Simpson Bragg. He's guarded by Caruso, and Nate Caruso's going to pick up a foul here, and Simpson Bragg will be at the line for 1-and-1.
Looking at a lengthy last 3 minutes here as the fouls now starting to pile up after a pretty clean 3.5 quarters by both teams.
Stay tuned after the ball game for the post-game show. We'll have the stats of the game. We'll have the plays of the game. We'll also announce our player of the game. Ernie will make that choice in the post-game report. I think we get a leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah, unless I'm overruled, it's a pretty easy choice tonight, I would say.
I don't think you're going to be overruled. A couple of free throws there. Makes it a 22-point ball game. Gershik on the right wing, goes out high to Hughes. Hughes trying to get around Cooper. Here's a jumper put up by Bowen, no good. Kenny offensive rebound, shot up and down.
Yeah, good work there on the boards. That was just a power battle there, and Kenny won and followed it in.
Shot missed by Simpson Bragg. Gets his own rebound back to Cooper. He'll try a 3. That's short. And taking it out of the air is Gershik. Gets it out to Bowen. Bowen surveying the situation as he dribbles up the floor. Is a 3 by Gershik. He drills it. Nothing but net there for Carl Gershik coming off the Bangor bench.
That was a deep 3 there. That was 3 or 4 feet behind the 3-point line. Good range.
Halley. Goes out high to Simpson Bragg. Now it's Matt Buck who's come into the ball game for Coach Pellerin. In his first year, he said he called Mike McGee after the first practice, and he said, if my coaching career ended tonight, Coach, talking to former Coach McGee, I'd be a happy camper because these guys worked so hard here tonight in practice number 1.
There's the Gershik 3 off the pass from Bowen, I believe, and that was
a launch.
3-4 feet beyond the arc out there. That was no question to be in a 3 and probably an NBA 3.
Here's Caruso in a bit of trouble. Gets it to Hughes on the near sideline. He's guarded by Cooper, the freshman, and the freshman's going to draw a foul.
19 foul, so still 1-1 as we wind down toward a minute here. One of Bangor's higher scoring outputs of the season at 76 points. Can't think of another one that was higher off the top of my head. That's not to say they didn't score more. They're averaging in the 50s.
Offensive rebound there by Kenny, so Bangor will keep the basketball, and another 3 by Gershik.
Now Kyle Gershik's asking what the record is in this building with 2 threes in a row.
Raven, the drive, strong effort there, but can't get the roll, and Kenny another rebound. Down to 35 seconds left to go in this one. Gershik fakes the shot, drives, dishes it back to Kenny. Here's Bowen with a launch. That rattles home. Everything falling for Bangor here tonight. They're up to 82 points. And the ball goes out of bounds. Bangor scored 78 points in their first game of the year at Lewiston. As you see, the 3 here by Bowen, the Bangor bench rising, and Bowen coming through. Look at the jubilation from the Ram bench.
Popular hoop for the Rams.
Bangor has scored 73 this year as Lawrence picks up a bucket there.
That was number 20, Derek Raven again.
Hughes drives the baseline, kicks it out, far corner. Bowen's going to hold on to the basketball. Classy move there by number 12 after he hit an earlier 3. So Bangor, 8 straight wins now for Ed Catala's crew as they are heading towards the postseason, riding high as they are now 13-4 on the season. Lawrence falls to 8-9. Bulldogs have one more game, a point-worthy game, I should say, against Messalonski. Bangor, they'll finish up their season against the Brewer Witches at the Cross Center. And as we mentioned early and often throughout this broadcast, Bangor playing some great basketball down the stretch, heading into the postseason on a very, very good run here, Ernie. And despite the injury to Connor Adams, who has that right knee wrapped in ice, he's on crutches now. Other people just stepping up here tonight for Bangor.
Yeah, time will tell the long-range implications of the injury to Connor Adams tonight, but certainly an explosive offensive performance by the Bangor Rams, combined with what has become their typically solid defense. Of course, Xavier Lewis leading the way tonight, 32 points, one of the higher scoring games of his career as he worked inside, he worked outside, and got a little divine intervention at the end of the first half, but plenty of support to go with Lewis's performance from the likes of Alex Campbell, off the bench from Nick Ashe on the boards in particular. A lot of contributions tonight, and the Rams seem to be building confidence with every game they play these days.
And this was their highest output of the season, 82 points in the victory tonight. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got the post-game show. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
Dean's Car Care is now Dean's Detailing. New name, new look, still the best. Since 1971, Dean's has served the greater Bangor area with quality and service. Renew your vehicle's appearance. Protect your auto investment. Call Dean's today, 945-3016, or book your appointment online at deansdetailing.com. Dean's gift cards are always the perfect fit for the holidays or any special occasion. At Dean's, we make used look like new.
Your wedding day is one of the most important days of your life. Hiring a professional videographer with an eye for detail will capture all of the emotion of the day. your special moments and precious memories from start to finish.
Back at Red Berry
It doesn't
Gym,
matter if your tractor is
crowd begins to file out after a big night here tonight for the Bangor Rams as they defeat the Lawrence Bulldogs 82-51, right, Ernie?
That is
Shut
correct.
up the scoreboard 82-51, so highest output of the season for Bangor here tonight. And Ernie's got our post-game numbers here.
I do. Bangor 82, Lawrence 51. First for the Lawrence Bulldogs, Walker Thomas off the bench in the fourth quarter with 8 points. 7 for Kyle Robinson, 6 apiece for J.T. Nutting and Brad King. 5 for Dustin Simpson-Bragg and Brandon Halley. 4 for Seth Powers. 3 apiece for Mason Cooper and Derek Raven. And 2 points apiece for Joe LeClaire and Taylor Slaney for a total of 51 for the Bangor Rams. Xavier Lewis leading the way with a game-high 32 points. Alex Campbell with 15. 6 for Kyle Gershik. 8 for Trey Kenny. 6 for Kyle Gershik. 4 apiece for Andrew Hillier, Nick Ashe, Ben Hughes. 3 points for Jake Bowen. 2 points apiece for Liam Harrigan and Justin Smith. Connor Adams as well with 2 points. And that's a total of 82 for the Bangor Rams. Now 13-4 on the season.
All right, Ernie. Great job, and we'll see you along the trails here very soon.
Looking forward to it.
All right, we'll take another break here in the post-game show. We'll come back with our plays of the game. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, chippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
We are back here at Bangor High School as Ernie Clark makes his way down on the floor to do some of his BDN Maine reporting. Meanwhile, up here in our broadcast position, high above courtside, Jim Churchill with you with the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week. Time now for our plays of the game. And we go to replays here. And you can see a nice screen there by Trey Kenny as he provides a shield for Alex Campbell, who had 15 points here tonight. He drains that 3. Xavier Lewis, who will be joining us here very shortly, had an outstanding game in all phases of the game. And here, Lewis, going to the rim, slips down, but has the presence of mind to dish it to his right to his teammate Campbell. Lewis would get up quickly. Campbell would have 2 more points. For Lawrence, again, they just couldn't break through here against Bangor. Got it down to 16 in the second half, but it was Rams right from the get-go. Although off the bench, Walker Thomas, a 5'9" sophomore, came off the bench. He knocked down 2 threes, added a 2 for 8 points, but Bangor just too much here tonight. And a key contributor after the tough injury to the starting center, Connor Adams, Nick Ashe, who right here wearing number 52, had to change his jersey because of some blood on his 0-0, but he gets a nice feed there and puts it home for 2 points. So there you have our plays of the game. We will take our final break here in the post-game show. When we come back, we'll talk with our player of the game. This is the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.
It doesn't matter if your tractor is colored red, blue, or green. At Greenway Equipment Sales, we have all the attachments to fit your machine, no matter what brand or model of compact tractor you drive.
Tillers, chippers, rotary cutters, loaders, backhoes.
Quality implements from the most respected names in the business. When you need to get the job done, no matter what your tractor color, see the boys in green and yellow at Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Choosing Choosing the right school for driver's ed has never been more important. Northeast Auto and Cycle School has been the leader in driver training since 1969. Greater Bangor's #1 team of instructors are experienced, professional, and caring. Northeast offers a variety of weekday and weekend courses. The motorcycle permit course at Northeast is taught by passionate riders committed to safety. Call 942-1769 or sign up at northeastautocycle.com.
Welcome back to Redberry Gymnasium here at Bangor High School. Jim Churchill with the post-game report, and it's time now for our player of the game. And joining us up here in our broadcast position, Xavier Lewis for the Bangor Rams, who was a Bulldog last year. First of all, Xavier, how did it feel to be out there against the team you played for last year?
Well, just another game, I guess, and I was ending it where I started. That's how I look at it.
And let's talk about your night here tonight. We were talking off air, obviously senior night, a big night, 8 seniors honored before the game for your team, and what a way to go out for you here on the home floor. I think you missed 2 shots all night, ended up with 32 points.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, you remember these moments for the rest of your life, so it means a lot, especially for all us seniors.
Yeah, and obviously your team playing great down the stretch here, 8 straight victories. You've been hit with the injury bug. Garrett Johnson down, Hunter Boyce down, as we see the big shot you made here at the end of the first half. You had to know it was going to be a pretty good night when you fired up that one from probably 30-plus feet.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky, I guess.
You were strutting off the floor. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But some tough injuries. Hunter Boyce out, Garrett Johnson out, 2 of your fellow seniors, and tonight Connor Adams suffering the knee injury. Did you get a chance to talk to Connor after the game?
Yeah, I actually went in at halftime and saw him when he was in the training room and just wished him best of luck. We need him back as soon as possible because he's a huge factor on this team. But I think when he came out, Nick Ashley definitely came in and filled the spot. We didn't miss a beat with him in the game.
All right, yes, Nick Ashley, great job, double digits in rebounds here tonight. Well, congratulations, Xavier, on 8 straight wins, 13 wins overall, and good luck in the final regular season game against Brewer and in the postseason.
Thank you.
All right, Xavier Lewis, our BDN Maine player of the game. And we're going to put the wraps on this one as the Bangor Rams pick up the 82-51 victory over the Lawrence Bulldogs. Bangor improves to 13-4 on the season as Lawrence falls to 8-9, each team with 1 game left. And we want to remind you of our Sportsnet Maine broadcast schedule. Again, this game will be replayed on Time Warner Cable Channel 9 on Thursday night at 9:30. On Friday night, we travel to Old Town as the Coyotes play host to the Herman Hawks in a key boys Class B matchup. Tip-off in that one live at BangorDailyNews.com at 7 o'clock. I want to thank our entire crew here tonight, my broadcast partner, Ernie Clark, also Kim Mitchell, our producer, Sam Hallett, directing this one, Andy Soul on replays, and Hunter Tracy, Jay Baines, and Alicia Coffin on the cameras here tonight from Redberry Gym. The final score, once again, Bangor 82, Lawrence 51. Jim Churchill saying so long from Bangor High School. This has been the Sportsnet Maine Game of the Week.